In the depths of silence, where shadows gather and light fears to tread, there comes a sound that chills the very essence of existence. It begins as whispers, distant melodies carried on winds that blow from no earthly direction. Then, through the veil of reality, you hear it, the rhythmic thunder of hooves against ground that exists between worlds. The music grows louder, haunting and beautiful, played by instruments you cannot name, but somehow recognize in the deepest chambers of your soul. From the mist emerges a figure that defies comprehension. Upon a pale horse, whose coat gleams like moonlight on bone, sits a king whose presence commands both terror and awe. His crown bears no jewels, yet it radiates authority that spans dimensions. This is no mortal ruler, no earthly sovereign. This is Beleth, and his very appearance marks a crossing of thresholds that were meant to remain sealed. The air grows heavy as he approaches, and you realize that you stand witness to something that has existed since the first rebellion, since the first fall from grace. The musicians who precede him play melodies that seem to echo from the beginning of time itself, their notes weaving spells that blur the boundaries between what is real and what dwells in the spaces between reality. If you're drawn to these ancient mysteries and want to explore more forbidden knowledge, subscribe to our channel and ring the notification bell. The secrets we uncover are not for the faint of heart. In the grand hierarchy detailed within the pages of the Ars Goetia, that ancient grimoire which catalogues the princes of darkness, Beleth holds the 13th position among the 72 mighty spirits. But this number is no mere coincidence, for 13 has always carried weight that transcends mortal understanding. It is the number that follows completion, the step beyond perfection into something altogether different. Among his fallen brethren, Beleth stands apart. While others rage against their exile or plot elaborate schemes of corruption, he maintains the bearing of royalty. His title as king is not metaphorical. It reflects a genuine nobility that survived even the Great Fall. Unlike demons who appear as twisted mockeries of their former selves, Beleth retains the terrible beauty of his angelic origins, though now it serves darker purposes. The chroniclers of ancient texts speak of his particular nature with a mixture of reverence and fear. He is fierce, they say, but not in the chaotic manner of lesser demons. His ferocity is that of a storm, terrible but magnificent, destructive yet somehow necessary. When the boundaries between worlds grow thin, when mortals dare to seek knowledge beyond their station, it is often Beleth who answers their calls. His position among the 72 is strategic. He serves as a bridge between the highest echelons of infernal nobility and the vast armies of lesser spirits. Through him flow commands that organize the chaos of the abyss into something resembling order, though it is an order that serves purposes mortals are not meant to comprehend. To understand the true scope of Beleth's dominion, one must grasp what it means to command 85 legions of demons. In ancient Rome, a legion consisted of thousands of soldiers, but in the infernal realms, numbers take on meanings that transcend mere counting. Each legion under Beleth's command represents not just individual demons, but entire hierarchies of spiritual beings, each with their own terrible specialties and dark gifts. These are not chaotic hordes, but organized forces that move with the precision of a celestial army, though their purposes have been inverted since their fall. Some legions specialize in influencing human desires, others in manipulating the fabric of reality itself. There are legions that whisper to scholars in their libraries, leading them toward forbidden knowledge, and others that dance in battlefields, feeding on the chaos of mortal conflicts. When Beleth rides forth, his 85 legions do not follow in disarray. They move like shadows given purpose, like nightmares that have learned discipline. The sound of their passage is not the clatter of arms or the march of feet, but something far more unsettling, the whisper of wings that no longer catch divine light. the rustle of robes that once gleamed with heavenly radiance, but now shimmer with darker fires. The ancient texts suggest that these legions can manifest in our world in countless ways. They might appear as sudden inspirations that lead to dangerous discoveries, as coincidences that seem too perfect to be natural, or as the subtle influence that turns love into obsession, curiosity into compulsion. Each demon serves according to its nature, but all serve under the absolute authority of their fallen king. Perhaps the most intriguing aspect of Beleth's manifestation is the retinue of musicians who precede him. This detail, recorded faithfully in the ancient grimoires, speaks to something profound about the nature of this fallen prince. While other demons appear with symbols of war or corruption, Beleth arrives heralded by beauty, though it is a beauty that has been touched by darkness. These musicians do not play earthly instruments, yet their melodies resonate with harmonies that mortal ears can somehow perceive. The music they create is said to be simultaneously glorious and terrible, echoing the very songs that once rang through celestial halls before the Great Rebellion. It is music that remembers what was lost, that carries within its notes both the pain of exile and the defiant pride that led to the fall. The purpose of this musical procession reveals something crucial about Beleth's nature. Unlike demons who rule through fear alone, he understands the power of seduction, the way that beauty can open doors that violence cannot breach. His musicians soften the barriers between worlds, their melodies acting as keys that unlock the hidden chambers of human consciousness, where angels and demons wage their eternal war for souls. Some scholars of the occult suggest that this music serves another purpose entirely. In the celestial hierarchy that existed before the fall, certain angels were tasked with maintaining the harmonies that kept creation in balance. Beleth's musicians might represent a corrupted version of this cosmic function. Instead of maintaining universal harmony, they now create discordance that allows supernatural forces to enter our reality more easily. The contrast between the beauty of the music and the fearsome nature of the king it heralds creates a tension that reflects the very essence of the fallen angels. They are not pure evil, but rather divine beings whose purposes have been inverted. The music reminds us that even in their current state, they retain echoes of their former glory, and perhaps that is what makes them most dangerous of all. The ancient grimoires provide detailed instructions for those brave enough or foolish enough to attempt summoning Beleth. But these texts warn that approaching this fallen king requires more than mere magical formulas. The summoner must possess both courage and wisdom, for Beleth does not appear as a servant, but as a sovereign who chooses to acknowledge mortal requests. The ritual itself is a study in contrasts. While the summoner must show proper respect and follow precise protocols, they must also demonstrate strength of will. Beleth, according to the traditions, will initially appear in his full terrifying majesty as the fierce king riding his pale horse, accompanied by his supernatural retinue. This first manifestation serves as a test, separating those with genuine authority from mere curiosity seekers. Only when the summoner proves their resolve does Beleth's demeanor change. The texts describe a remarkable transformation. The fierce king becomes courteous, even friendly, though this shift brings its own dangers. For in his approachable aspect, Beleth becomes far more persuasive, more capable of leading mortals down paths they never intended to walk. The knowledge that Beleth offers is said to concern matters of love and relationships, but in the context of demonology, such subjects carry meanings far deeper than simple romance. Love, in occult traditions, represents one of the fundamental forces that bind the cosmos together. A being who can manipulate these forces wields power over the very foundations of human experience. Those who have successfully completed the ritual describe conversations that revealed truths about the nature of attraction, desire, and human connection that no earthly teacher could provide. But they also warn that such knowledge comes with a price, not necessarily one's soul, as popular culture suggests, but something more subtle: the loss of innocence about the forces that truly govern human behavior. As the encounter draws to its close, Beleth does not simply vanish like a dispelled illusion. Instead, he departs as he arrived, with ceremony, with music, with the measured pace of true royalty. His pale horse turns away from our world, carrying its supernatural rider back toward realms where different laws apply. The musicians who preceded him now follow, their otherworldly melodies fading gradually until only echoes remain. But those echoes linger in ways that defy explanation. Long after the ritual circle has been broken, long after the candles have been extinguished, and the sacred names have stopped resonating in the air, something remains. Perhaps it is simply the memory of having glimpsed something vast and ancient. Perhaps it is the knowledge that beneath the surface of ordinary reality, other powers move with purposes that span millennia. The pale hooves that carried the fallen king leave no physical traces, yet their rhythm seems to persist in the spaces between heartbeats, in the pauses between thoughts. For those who have witnessed Beleth's manifestation, the world never looks quite the same. They have seen behind the curtain that separates the mundane from the mystical, and that sight cannot be unseen. In the end, Beleth remains what he has always been: a reminder that the universe contains mysteries far greater than human understanding can encompass. His story is not one of simple evil opposing good, but of power that transcends such categories entirely. He is neither savior nor destroyer, but something more complex: a fallen prince who retains his nobility even in exile, a king who rules over territories that exist in the shadows of human consciousness. The music fades, but never entirely disappears. Somewhere, in the spaces between what we know and what we fear to discover, the pale horse continues its eternal ride, carrying its crowned rider through realms that touch our world, in moments when the boundaries grow thin. What ancient mysteries call to your curiosity? Subscribe and tell us in the comments which mythological figures or occult traditions you'd like us to explore next. Your journey into the hidden corners of reality has only just begun, and we're here to guide you deeper into the labyrinth of forgotten knowledge.